So a follower bought this for us like 3 years ago. I've been going through it partly for myself too. This book doesn't just tell you how to raise an emotionally intelligent child. It makes sure that you have emotional intelligence. So I've been using ChatGPT to figure out, to help me when I get stuck. So I was stuck on this one sentence: focus on your child's actions rather than his character. And I read it, and this has been a theme over the last few weeks that I've been using ChatGPT to learn about emotions and feelings. And ChatGPT will give me paragraphs of information, but then a few sentences I'll read and I'll think, that sounds really important, but I don't get it. And so I'll ask it to define it further, and then it does. And I'm thinking, oh, people should try this. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, like, what does this mean? Can you give me an example? I'm confused with this sentence. Focus on your child's actions rather than his character. And so I have the example in front of me on my computer right here. But a few nights ago, I turned to Michelle and I said, hey, and I asked Michelle, focus on your child's actions rather than his character when it comes to discipline or just, and she gave me pretty much the exact same example as ChatGPT. So ChatGPT said, instead of saying you're a bad boy when your child misbehaves, it's more effective to say, I didn't like it when you took your sister's toy without asking. Next time, please ask first. She pretty much said exactly the same thing. And I was sitting there like shocked. A tiny part of me was like, did she read it? Like, how did she know what ChatGPT said? And like a big revelation was happening. I could feel something like in my mind. It made it very clear where I'm struggling to understand things. And so, I don't know. Do you want to talk?
Just, you've been having a lot of revelations lately about exactly where you struggle to connect things together. And intuitively, my mind just went to, don't say you're a bad boy. Say, like, I didn't like when you did XYZ.
It scared me.
And Andrew's like, how did you know that?
Well, how did you just know? Because I read that sentence and I'm thinking, okay, so child's actions, but I feel like I'm staring into an abyss of infinity. Nothing's like, it's like, well, what, like, and I need an example.
Yeah, but that's great that you can ask ChatGPT for an example.
GPT. You say it wrong. 90, almost every time.
See, because my mind isn't good with those details.
I know. But GPT, it's not Gran Turismo PlayStation.
With human, emotions, it's just intuitive for me.
So a lot of people are like you.
I think so. But I think a lot of people are like you, and your mechanical mind is instinctual, and it's really hard for me.
So today when I'm editing the book, I'm realizing why I don't like editing so much.
Okay.
Because I'm staring into the abyss of this like this infinite potential, and it's just overwhelming, and I actually get anxiety, and I get and I get overwhelmed, and I feel intense, and so the whole time that I'm editing, I feel like all I'm doing is falling on a roller coaster.
Okay.
But today was the best ever.
That's awesome. Because
I realized this, and I realized, okay, so essentially what's happening right now is I'm getting frustrated and I'm struggling with editing because I don't know where to draw the line, but now I do because of this. Because of, I don't know how to explain this very well. Like I don't know how to explain to people, like focus on your child's actions rather than his character. Powerful artificial intelligence. Please give me an example of what it means. Instead of saying you're a bad boy when your child misbehaves, it's more effective to say, I don't like it when you take your sister's toy without asking. Next time, please. Perfect. I get it. I can understand it. I can feel it. But editing is the same thing where I don't know what the answer is because it's not logical. I can't see it. And so that's why as I'm editing, it's so hard to, like, it feels overwhelming. And I realize this. I don't like the feeling the whole time I'm doing it. But I'm not aware that I'm feeling this. I'm just sitting there like, I don't want to do this. And it's like, well, why don't you want to do it? I don't know, because it's hard. okay, well, now I know why it's hard. It's because this problem happening about every paragraph or twice a paragraph, and it's very hard. But now when I'm editing, I say, fuck it. I'm just going to edit to the best of my ability and then say, fuck it.
And the little tidbits you add in the editing are things that I'm not good at. So it's really good.
Well, I know, but I've always had to scale back. I've been scaling back, but it's been done through anxiety and like vibration. Like I have to stop vibrating. What do I need to do? Whereas with now, it's like, I don't know. This feels so much more peaceful. I wish I could explain this better so we're not making 57-minute videos.
You're understanding yourself more.
Yeah, like it's calming to know that, like, oh, this is that problem that I have, and it's just who I am. It's okay, rather than sitting there like, why? What makes this sentence perfect? And I can't figure it out.
No one can. That's why we have beta
But I
readers.
sit there and, okay, here's why I was a good mechanic. I'll sit there and I can grind a visual problem until I get it. With this stuff, it's so subjective. I will literally sit there and just be in turmoil, and I actually won't get anywhere. Or I won't. I will actually just become very anxious and very overwhelmed, and I won't get anywhere. And then I get frustrated because I wasted all this time, and it gets terrible. It's terrible.
So just read it and make it a little better and add your little thoughts.
Today was the best I've ever done.
Awesome.
When I say that, though, it's like an increase of 10% in one sitting, but there's still like 40% more to go.
That's a big improvement, though.
It's a huge improvement.
Yeah. Awesome.
I can feel my heart beating a little harder when I'm editing, a little bit. But then when I realized this, it helped a lot. What happened? Oh, okay. So I go to the drugstore, right? Well, you know how I am with banks.
Andrew's terrible when he has to talk to the bank.
But I'm realizing that half the time when I have a hard time talking to the bank, it's because of stuff like this.
Something's obvious to them that's not obvious to you.
But when you put it like that, it feels too general. Because to me now, it's very specific.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how to explain
I know.
it.
I feel like you and I are going to need to invent new words for this stuff. And I feel like in the next 10 to 20 years, you and I are going to begin talking about a whole new way of humans can perceive their feelings and emotions. That's what I've been thinking.
Well, this is why we're writing our books.
Yeah. So I'm at the pharmacy, and the woman's like, if you buy 2, you get 1 free. And I'm like, okay, just before I can, okay, like you just gave me a little bit of an anxiety. Like you just gave me some anxiety because like this doesn't make sense. Why? Like, is this the pharmacy? Like, why would the pharmacy do this? Like, are you sketchy? Like, what's happening right now, right? And her native language is in English. And so I get it. Like I want this person to be ChatGPT and explain this. Like, why are you offering me 2 for 1 on medication that in Canada I need a doctor's prescription for? Like, this isn't candy, right? Now I had a coworker at Reagan say like Fournier, something about you, like I don't know what it is, but there's something about you. I think I figured it out because I have to joke and like I'm just being honest. And now I realize it's this. I'm pointing at the computer. It's this stuff. On the computer, I have the whole dialogue with ChatGPT, so I'm pointing at it as if this is the symbol of what we're talking about.
But you're figuring yourself out. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm not like saying this to discount it, but I'm saying it to be like, it's almost like when you watch a movie and then something's revealed and you're like, do you guys get it? Does everybody else know what just happened in this movie? Like, this has always been happening through the entire movie and we didn't realize until right now. I want to make sure that everybody else in this theater knows that we just realized this right now, right? And then someone's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, my life just changed. So why, like, yours should too? I don't know. And then I realized, like, everyone's on their own journey. Whatever. Okay, I'm just going to watch the movie then. But this is still crazy stuff.